Hello friends. ISO 45001 is an international standard that establishes the requirements for an occupational health and safety management system (OH&S). It is designed to help organizations reduce workplace risks, enhance legal compliance, and improve overall performance. You must accurately meet each criterion for the ISO 45001 standard in order to properly implement it inside your company. With corresponding supporting clauses, there are 10 major clauses. I'll give you an overview of all 45001 clauses in this video. Let's begin the video now. Clauses 1. Scope. The standard scope is outlined in Clause 1. It describes the standard's objectives and how occupational health and safety management systems should implement them. Additionally, it stipulates that all organizations, regardless of size, nature, or complexity, must adhere to the standard. Clauses 2 to 3. Terminology. The different terms and definitions used throughout the standard are listed in clauses 2 to 3. They offer a comprehensive knowledge of the vocabulary used in the standard and the context in which each term is utilized. The definitions are separated into two groups, those that apply to the standard specifically and those that are generally applicable to occupational health and safety. Clause 4. Context of the organization. In this clause, organizations must assess the context of their actions and document the needs of interested parties. There are internal and external concerns with this. Your workforce's competency and dedication, readiness to cooperate and adhere to your policies, and your organization's communication strategies are all examples of internal challenges. In contrast, external challenges relate to your organization's economic and political environment as well as union demands where applicable. Whether they have an internal or external influence, stakeholders' and shareholders' expectations must also be taken into account. Clause 5. Leadership and worker participation. This provision integrates health and safety into the operations of the organization and is intended for both managers and staff. The ISO 45001 standard, in contrast to earlier standards on the subject, discourages solitary effort from team members and instead supports a collaborative effort across the team. This establishes a culture of effective health and safety and ensures that multiple team members are competent of operating the system. Clause 6. Planning for the OH&S system. You are considering the goals of your OH&S system and how you can accomplish them in this clause. Naturally, your main goal is to eliminate or drastically limit the possibility of accidents and other health problems at work. But it still makes sense to organize this into actionable tasks. For instance, you must first take into account your operational demands, your stakeholder wants and expectations, and your legal obligations. Assessing organizational risks comes next. A risk assessment should be the first step, but this can also include relevant data, such as the frequency of workplace accidents, the typical number of days that employees miss from work each year, and the findings of employee OH&S surveys. Clause 7. Support. This clause addresses the supporting components of your OH&S system, such as staff awareness, communication, documentation, and resources. In order to make sure the organization complies with this provision, senior management is essential. They must also authorize the required funding and implement other necessary safeguards. In particular, top-level clearance is needed for staff training, which should be integrated into the organization's processes. This can entail holding practice exercises and training sessions at regular intervals to make sure that staff members obey your rules. Clause 8. Operation. Every OH&S system needs reliable operating controls. Clause 8 details the actions that organizations must do, such as removing dangers, managing change, making purchases, and being ready for and responding to emergencies. By developing operating criteria that may be utilized to govern pertinent operations, organizations can put their operational processes into practice. To make sure they function as intended, these should be maintained and assessed on a regular basis. Clause 9. Performance evaluation. The monitoring and evaluation of an OH&S system's functioning are essential components. This involves a review of the system's overall efficacy and the organization's compliance status. Clause 10. Improvement. Organizations are required by ISO 45001 to commit to continuous improvement, which they can undertake depending on the findings of their performance evaluation. If the evaluation indicates performance deficiencies rather than compliance, it could be worthwhile to talk with your team leaders and employees about possible modifications. Since they are the ones utilizing the system, you can seek for corrective and preventative measures using their experience. Learn everything about occupational health and safety management systems and environment safety. Useful for students, lead auditors, internal auditors, and implementers. Key modules of a learning course. A learning with video tutorials. Handouts in PDF format. Sessions and final exam. Training certificate. Why you should enroll in this course. Cost and time efficient. Fast and effective. Convenient and flexible. Anywhere and anytime training. Thank you for watching this video. ISO 45001 course link is in the description.